Hello YouTube, it's John back again for another video. So today I'm going to go over Wrestling 101, with this first video being just the very most fundamental basics of wrestling. So I'm going to start off by talking about the wrestling stance, which if you've wrestled before or you're thinking about wrestling, you need to have a good stance. If you guys want more information and more insightful YouTube videos about wrestling and Wrestling 101 basics, and also more advanced wrestling on top of that, I would strongly recommend you go over and check out Coach Jeff Jordan. I think his YouTube channel is Jordan Trained, and also I'd recommend going to his wrestling camps. I went there back when I was in high school, and I would say they made a huge difference. So, without further ado, let's get started. So, for the wrestling stance, you want to start off with your feet about shoulder width apart. You could go a little bit wider or a little bit tighter, but I'd say shoulder width is the best way to go. That way you have more of a solid base. Then, you want to pick a leg to put in front. I put my dominant leg in front when I'm grappling and wrestling, because that way I'm able to push off more off of that side if I'm trying to do a throw, or if I sprawl, I can throw that leg back rather than the other one. I feel like I have more power that way, and it's the way I grew up wrestling, so even if it's not inherently better, it's the way I wrestle better. So, then, once you have one leg in front, you want to hip hinge. So, like in a squat, how you hinge at the hips. You want to lower your butt essentially, keeping your back straight. You want to have your chest somewhat up, although when wrestling, it's alright to bend forward, but do not round your back. You want to keep strong, sturdy, and stable. You want to be bending at the knees and hinging at the hips. Then, whenever you're in a wrestling stance, you want to have your weight on the balls of your feet. When I say the balls of the feet, I mean the spot right in front of your toes, right around here. At the edge of your foot, but before the toes. That way, you can be moving light on your feet, like you're stabbing the ball of the foot into the ground. You don't want to be on your toes, because then you're weak. You don't want to be on your heel, because then you're slow and, too clobbery. So, on the ball of your feet, you want to be in your stance. You want to be able to pivot, step, move, walk around. You never want to cross your feet when wrestling. So anytime that your foot goes like that, it's a no-go. Because then, you could get pushed over, easy to throw, someone takes a shot, no good. So also when you're wrestling, you want to keep your elbows in tight, elbows at your side. If you're flaring out like this, you're weaker. Guys can manipulate your arms more, you can get thrown, they could hit a duck under, lots of moves they could do, and you're not as well able to defend low if they take a shot. I keep my hands a little bit higher up because I'm really big on the tie-up game, so I'm reaching for the guy, and also it helps with MMA, keep your hands up. But if you're a pure grappler, you might even want to keep your arms a little bit lower, around your hips, because in wrestling, first of all, the place you always want to be where you're strongest is in your stance. You're always strongest in your stance. Sometimes you want to even squat real low in your stance. You're stronger when you're lower than the other guy. Lower guy usually wins. It's like in football, if you ever played football. So, I was going somewhere with something, but I forgot what my point was, but, you guys understand the stance. 1 foot forward, preferably the dominant leg. Bend at the knees and hinge at the hips. Weight on the balls of your feet. And you want to be able to move around athletically like this. Might even be smart to circle. And make sure you can circle both ways, because especially if you're going to wrestle a guy who's a lefty or just circles the other way, you want to be able to go both ways. And direction change is very important in wrestling also. So hopefully any of you guys who are interested in wrestling, or who are doing any combat sport for that matter that involves grappling like MMA, hopefully this video helps you, and leave a like, comment, and subscribe if you enjoyed. Thank you very much, see you later, and God bless.